Instructor from HYRR, and today I'm going to talk about sales fundamentals for freshers. In this short video, I will talk basics of sales, and this is for all the young professionals and freshers out there who are looking to build a career in sales. Before I get started, some small trivia about sales. Do you know that almost 15% of the world's working population is in sales? And that is an extremely high number, which makes sales as one of the most popular professions in the world. And interestingly, most of the CEOs come from sales background, which effectively means that if you want to make it really big in the corporate world, you need to have a stint in sales at some point in time in your career. And experts suggest that it's better to have it earlier than later so that you absorb a lot more about how business is done on the ground. With this, let's get started and understand what makes a great salesperson. First of all, to be a great salesperson, you have to have the right mindset. Now, what do we mean by mindset? First of all, do not confuse sales with the daily spam calls you get. A lot of people that we talk today, they say that sales is just about those calls that you get on phone all day long, and those are not good things, and you don't think highly about the other person who is doing that sales. Sales is not that. In fact, it is one of the most respected and sought after profession. Sales demands tons of patience and it requires you to have a thick skin. What what patience means is that when you're talking to your client or customer for the first time, he's not going to get converted and buy your product right away. It will take some doing. You'll have to be patient with him. You'll have to have multiple conversations with your potential client or customer to be able to sell your product or service. Hence, if you want to succeed in sales, you need to have a great amount of patience. Thick skin means that customers can be anyone. They may not be the most friendliest of people in some cases when you are calling them, in which case they might say things which would not go down well with you if you were talking to him just as a personal conversation. But if you're a salesperson, you need to have the thick skin. Even if he's shouting at you, he's saying your product is bad or you should not call him or he's not interested, these things should not affect you at any level. You should just have a thick skin and you should keep your tone and tempo very polite during the call and not get affected by this. Sales needs a lot of discipline. To be a great salesperson, you need to be very organized. You need to keep a track of who are the new set of people you're calling, who are some of the follow-up leads, people you have called few days back but they did not have time and have asked you to call again, or people who want more attention or they need to be talked to. So what you need to do is make sure that you organize yourself, make a list of all the people you're talking to, what were the notes of the conversation, and if you have to follow up with them, what date and time they have given for you to follow up. Please make sure that in sales, follow-ups are the key to success. If you don't follow up, you are likely to lose clients' interest and attention as well. He might just think and say that, you know what, this guy is not following up, so he's not interested in selling whatever he's selling. So you need to have the right follow-up mechanism. You need to be very, very accurate on the date and time at which this client has asked you to follow up. So sales requires a lot of discipline if you want to succeed. Sales needs a lot of empathy and politeness. You really need to understand the customer situation at the point in time you're calling. He can be in the weirdest of the situations. He can be at any place. He can be with his family, having a family time. So first you need to understand what's his situation. And then once you have understood his situation and if you feel that he's in a right situation to talk about the product and service that you have, then you can go ahead. And in that as well, you need to have empathy to understand his problem first, then actually start selling your product and service, right? So empathy is one of the first and foremost things that you need to have while making a great sales pitch. And obviously, politeness is a total must. At any point in time, in any sort of sales call, you can not be polite. You have to be polite at all times. Even if the customer is not in the best of the moods, he's getting irritated by you or he's getting angry at you, you have to maintain your level of politeness. And if you at any point in time you feel that you are getting angry and you are getting a little irritated, then you need to step back, take a deep breath, and maybe you can just politely disconnect the call or ask him that if he has any other time to talk to you. Salesperson should have good communication and also good listening skills. All the salespeople we know have good communication skills, but the secret is that the greatest of the salespeople have amazing listening skills, right? In fact, listening skills is part of communication. If you're not listening to the other person, if you're not cognizant of his problems, then there is no way you can suggest a right product or service to that person. So it's really important that you listen out your customer, and then only you should pitch your product or service to the customer. And that is a very, very important aspect of being a good salesperson. Which the second important aspect of sales is prospecting. Now, your product and service is not meant for everyone out there. The process of identifying who your right customers are is called prospecting. To be able to do good prospecting or good targeting, what you need to have is a solid understanding of what you are selling in terms of what are its strengths, weaknesses, and to which customer group this is going to make the most sense. There can be multiple ways in which you can target the right set of customers. You can prioritize the target groups based on their tendency to convert. If you are targeting a broad set of customers, then you can make subgroups which you can target one by one. But you need to work with your team members and superiors to really understand who are the right set of people you are going to sell your product to. And once you've identified them, you have to identify the right channel or medium through which you will reach out to them. There are certain set of customers who are more easily reachable over a cold call. Some set of customers are not reachable on a cold call. To reach out to them, you may need to email or message. So there are various ways in which you can reach out to the customer and sell your product and service. Next comes opening the call. Now this is where we get into the real discussion with the customer. First of all, when you call a customer, introduce yourself in one line. You can possibly start by saying, hey, I'm Ravi from ABC company and I wanted to discuss about a new product which is being used by thousands of customers to solve their XYZ problem. Now in this introduction, what you have done is you have given an identity to yourself with your name and the company which you're representing, and you have set the tone of the call saying that there's a new product which already thousands of people are doing, so you might get some attention from him. But this is when you need to stop. A lot of people actually overdo it. Instead of just talking about the product at a headline level, they go on and start describing that product without really asking the customer if it is a good time to talk, right? So whenever you are calling a prospect, you should check that if it is a good time to talk, because he is not really expecting to receive your call, and your call is a surprise to him or her. So it's important for you to check if it is a good time to talk, and you can, once he is given a go ahead, then you can go ahead and start your pitch. If he's not free, politely ask him when you can call again, and based on the time and date that he gives, make sure you take a note of it and you call him at that time. Don't miss it. It's really important that you call up your customers at the date and time at which they have scheduled the call. You can't miss that as a good salesperson. If he says that yes, he's free and he's willing to talk, then you can proceed further to the next part. So next comes the most important part of explaining your product and service, which is essentially the core of your job. Talk about the product and service you have. If you have different variants of the product, think of which one of those would the customer be most interested in. If not sure which one of those would the customer like, you can ask him questions, ask about his problems, or just ask him which one of those he would be most interested in listening to. Make sure you have a short description of the product and service that you are selling. It should be scripted with you at some place. It should not be long. It should be very short, crisp, and it should be very, very easy to understand for the customer. However, when you are pitching to the customer, please make sure it doesn't sound as if you are reading out from a script. It should look natural, but at the same time, you should have a script ready with you when you are talking to the customers. Always refer to the product in reference to the customer. For example, if you buy this product, you will not have to spend hours on your daily household activities and you'll get some quality time. Instead of saying that if someone buys this product, then they can avoid spending hours on daily household activities. So the reference point should be customer, and the customer has to be included in the picture. Next comes an important part, which is discussing pricing and plans. Start off with the pricing basis. So whenever customer asks what is the price of this, don't just see a number that this is 100 rupees or 5,000 rupees or whatever. Start off with a basis saying that, for example, if your product is the cheapest in the market, you can say, it is one of the cheapest products with all the features, and then you start off saying it's one of the cheapest product and it is priced at XYZ rupees or XYZ dollars, whatever it is. If it is not cheapest, then there would be something which is actually distinct for your product. Maybe it's a better quality product, or maybe there are more features at the given price. So make sure you state that basis, state some one line which actually justifies your pricing that you are going to give. So for example, you can say it is one of the best quality product and it is reasonably priced at XXX or whatever that money is. If there's any promotional offer or discount that is applicable, please inform the customer about it upfront. It's better to create favorable conditions for the customer to buy the product than to keep it for a later time when he or she has already decided that he is not going to buy the product. Closing the call is as important as opening and explaining the product and service. Irrespective of the outcome of the call, it can be a call where the customer wants to buy a product or he doesn't want to buy a product. The call has to be closed politely with a lot of greetings. If he's not interested, say thanks for your time. If you're okay, I will reconnect with you in a few weeks to check. If he's interested, you can say just thanks for your time, and this is with the same tone. Thanks for your time. Let me quickly explain the next steps, and so on and so forth, whatever that process is as per your company. Finally, a reality check. While a lot of stuff we discuss is structured, each call is different and can proceed in several ways. Sometimes it is expected as per the usual sales call, and at times can be unexpected, right? The customers can say different things for which you are not really or trained for. But you no need to worry. Make sure you use your judgment. Do not over rely on scripts. And the best way to actually improve your judgment is by knowing the product and the customer target group in a really good manner. If you know that, then any question that comes from the customer, you should be able to answer. But do not over rely on the scripts. The scripts are there to guide you, but scripts are not there to actually handle all the different situations that the customer can put you in. On a lighter note, sales is pretty much like cricket. Batsman has to judge the line, length, and quality of the ball before deciding the right shot. In case of sales, it's very similar. Based on the customer and how your conversation is progressing, you have to use the right version of the script and the right version of the pitch that you have. In case you're going for a sales interview, for a sales role, here are some interview tips which you might find handy. First of all, dress smart, look neat, be confident, have a smile, and that goes for all the interviews, not just sales. But in sales, it matters a lot more. Know about the company and their products and service. It's really important that how the candidate is able to explain the company and the products and services they have during an interview. It shows that the candidate is interested, first of all, and he or she has the potential to actually talk about the company when they are selling the product or the services to the customers. A good way to do that is actually going through the company's online promotions and ads on social media to really understand how company is selling its products and services to people on the social platform. You will get some ideas on how the company is trying to position itself in the market, and that can be a very useful knowledge to have during the interview. Practice a lot of mock sales, right? Because that's what you're going to do eventually, right? You need to understand how to sell, how to look excited about the product that you're selling. So pick up any item, pick up a pen, pick up a chair or whatever. Just pick up any item and try and think that if you have to sell this to a customer, how will you sell it? What are the things you will say? So it just really helps you sharpen your ability to think on the feet, to talk like a salesperson and talk in a very energetic and interesting way to your potential clients. Finally, thanks for watching this video, and all the best for your sales career and profession. We are here to help, and if you like this video, please click the subscribe button of this channel, because you will get a lot more such videos and you will be notified about it. Thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.